Hi guys, welcome to Soul Connections. I'm your host, Holly Jo Labbé, and we are here on this blustery Wednesday even. We are having wind and snow and blowing outside, so it's a great night to be inside, snuggled up and ready to get some healing done for ourselves and maybe receive some messages. So for those of you guys who already know the drill, we will be doing a meditation to help you clear whatever you're looking to clear with your intentions. And then after that, we are going to pull some divination cards, some oracle cards, so I can channel messages for you from your spiritual team. Kind of your team and my team will team up to see what you need to experience or what wisdom needs to be imparted to help you through your journey at this point. So I'd love to share with you the cards that we're using this evening. This will be the last time they're going to be used together for a little while, at least by me. So I have two decks that we're using, both by Tony Carmen Salerno. The first one is the Gaia Oracle. So the Gaia Oracle really connects us to the earth energy, allowing Mother Earth to send her healing to us and to help us and guide us on our healing journey. And then the second deck we'll be using, whoops, wrong way up, is the Sacred Earth Oracle. And again, this is another one where, you know, the earth energy and the beings who, you know, sort of help preserve and restore the earth, it's sending you messages on ways to help you with what is going on. And I love these two together because, you know, the Sacred Earth with Mother Earth is really a perfect beginning for this new year. These are the cards I've been using all through January. And they've really been important for me to gather together and gather the wisdom that's trying to come through, which is really cool. And I'm excited for you guys this evening because the energy has been out of this world the past couple days for me. And Neshi can attest to that. I've been sort of channeling energy like nobody's business and just finished my 54 card deck for that. Will be soon have it out as soon as we can get the artwork coordinated and all of that. But the messages are here, which is really great. And I really appreciate my team for coming through because I feel like they're really important for us on our soul's journey. And the cool thing about the cards is that they're not only going to be used like we are using them tonight, but they're going to have ways for you to use them to heal by laying them on your body, and also to have a brand new way to a new card spread, one that connects you to your 7 chakras to see what energy is up in each one of them to help you figure out where you need to bring your life into balance. And I mean, like, to me, that seems so cool. I'm excited. I love being able to use them, but to be able to use them in healing on top of that, like with your healing practice, I'm very excited. So if you want a card pulled for you after the meditation, just say yes, please. They will be read in the order that they're received. And Neshi will, you know, prompt me to know which cards to pull next, because otherwise it gets I get too much in my thinking brain if I have to sort through all your comments. So don't feel bad if I don't respond to something that you've written. It's because I'm not seeing it. I'm only seeing your names. And that's how that's going to work today. So let's get started. Oh, before we do that, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, could you guys please like and share this broadcast? That's how we get out there in Facebook land. You know, because the more likes we have, the more shares we have, the more the broadcast shows up in the news feed. And when it shows up in the news feed, it's an opportunity for somebody to watch it who's in need of the healing energy. And we don't always know who that is, you know, and you could share it on your, you know, your regular page. You could message it to someone if that feels better. Or you could share it in a group who's, you know, could really use some healing intention and energy. So thanks for that. If you guys could do that. And I just want to put this out there. I will say so later too, because I know people come in a little later. But I will be on vacation next week. So there won't be any live card draws on Tuesday or Wednesday because I am going to have fun in Florida with my hubby. And our inner children are ready to play. So no work for me. And my spiritual team was really clear on that. I'm not allowed to even bring a computer with me. I'm just supposed to show up and have fun, which is probably why I'm extremely busy channeling and working with clients this week, trying to fit everybody in before I leave. So with that, guys, let's get ready for our healing meditation. And you're going to hear me making clearing noises. That's just me moving the energy for the entire group. I never know who it comes from or where it comes from. I just feel the stuckness and I clear that. Okay? So you're going to start by getting yourselves nice and comfortable. You want to have your arms and your legs uncrossed.
Good.
And you want to take a moment to just really take a couple of deep breaths and call in your divine team.
Good. Good.
And we're going to start by connecting to the divine energy, however you perceive that. Whether you connect with Creator or God or Goddess, the divine, all that is, Great Spirit. Just begin by connecting to your version of the divine. Hold on 1 second. I have a cat who is giving me an issue. Well, that's a sign from Spirit. There's a bird trying to get into my house. It's flying into it initially was like trying to get in through the French door, and then it got on the screen of the side, and my girl kitty is like trying to get at the bird. So I'll have to look up the bird signal and see what that is after. So I'm going to reconnect with the divine energy with you guys. Thank you for being patient.
Yeah.
And we're going to ask the divine energy to surround and protect us in a bubble of infinite love and infinite light.
Good.
And we set the intention that this healing meditation and the readings are for the good of all and harm to none, including ourselves.
Good. 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 Good.
And we're going to invite in our spiritual team, our angels, our guides, our ancestors, all divine of the highest, fullest, and brightest vibration available to us in this moment.
Good. Good. Good.
And we're just going to begin by allowing ourselves to experience the connection to the divine at our crown chakra. Whether you feel tingling or pressure or heat, or you simply have a knowing. And we each connect in our own way, so there's no right way to experience this connection. And we're going to begin to call down the divine energy to come into our sixth chakra, into our forehead, and begin to clear away all the clutter that we have accumulated in there today. Any thoughts, ideas, beliefs, or patterns that may be spinning around, maybe our to-do list.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And we're going to call all of our energy back into the present moment. So all the things that you're worrying about possibly happening tomorrow or in the next few days, or things that you need to do, just gently bring your energy back into your breath. You can focus on the air going in and out to quiet that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we're going to call back the energy that we've left in the past, worrying about things that already happened, wishing to change them or shift them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just really bringing that energy also back into this moment, into this breath.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're going to ask that our intuition be expanded and that our senses all begin to work together as a team. All 5 of our regular senses, our 6th sense, and even our 7th sense, that higher knowing.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And just take a moment to allow some clarity to come through. Lifting the fog that you may be dealing with in your thoughts. And any energy that is keeping you from sleeping well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And opening up the channels of communication with your spiritual team in all realms and dimensions. And opening the pathways of your ears so that you can hear clearly what they are trying to say and what others are trying to say, but also so that you are heard clearly. Not only the words spoken, but the meaning behind the words.
Yeah. Yeah.
And releasing the tension in your jaw and in your neck from all the ways that you've had to hold back what you needed to say, or the ways that you have tried to control your environment, your responses. Just allow that tension to dissolve for this moment.
God. 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 God.
And opening up the throat and making room for your authentic self-expression so that you are able to speak your heart's truth and you are able to be your true self.
God. God.
With all people and in all situations.
God. God.
And releasing the tension that is gathered behind your neck, into the base of your skull, into the top of your shoulders.
God.
And just making room for that stress and tension to evaporate. For in this moment, all you have to do is be.
God. 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 God.
And now releasing the energy in your shoulders, the top of your neck.
God.
And noticing all the responsibility you have stuck there, all the burdens that you are carrying for yourself and for others. And just take a moment to imagine those burdens being lifted gently off your shoulders by your team. Placing it somewhere where you can pick it up when you are done. You do not need to hold it in this moment.
God. 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 God.
And beginning to move the energy down into the lungs, the very top of the lungs, and opening up all of your breathing passages.
Yeah.
Allowing those who are having difficulty breathing, whether it's from a cold or asthma or other things, just really allowing the lungs to open more fully, expanding the oxygen flow throughout your entire being.
God. 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 God.
And connecting with the heart and seeing how the heart is doing. Are all the 4 chambers wide open, allowing the blood flow evenly and quickly, sharing the energy through all of our veins and capillaries
God.
into the muscles and tissues and feeding our bones and nourishing us.
God.
And in the heart chakra, looking at the layer, experiencing any disappointment, sadness, grief, or even shame that may be residing in there. You may have a sensation of squeezing And just breathe the divine white light into any place that is tight or uncomfortable. For some of you, that's between the shoulder blades right now, in your back.
Yeah.
You can actually experience this in any part of your body, not just your heart. For the heart communicates with all the other energy in our body. So if you have tightness in your belly, just breathing light into that space. Asking it to dissolve.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
And using the heart energy to connect to your inner child and see and experience how they are doing. Are they filled with joy and love and wonderment? Or do they feel heavy and burdened?
Got it.
And allowing the energy to fall off your inner child so that they can stretch and grow and step into their true being.
Got it.
And reminding you how to connect to the magic of this lifetime.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
I'm not sure, but I'm still with you. That's okay. We're just going to breathe through the heart energy.
Got it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Got it. Got it.
And now we're going to connect to your inner adult, that part of you that is so responsible and takes so much effort in all the doing. And give them a break for a moment. Just allow them to be. Release all the stress and anxiety that they carry, trying to accomplish and strive to do so much.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
A lot in there, guys. So just allow that to really dissolve.
Got it. Got it. So,
Nice. And now connecting to our inner warrior, that part of us that helps us take action when we need to, that keeps us safe. And just give the warrior a moment of peace and tranquility.
got it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, get some more breath in that
Yeah.
space. There we go.
Got it. Yeah.
And really take a moment to release the hypervigilance. In this moment, you are safe, you are protected, and you're surrounded by your team. For they're here to assist you in your expansion, in your journey.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
And I'm checking in and connecting with your inner sage elder, that part of you that you've carried with you in each and every lifetime, each and every incarnation. And the sage elder contains all the wisdom that you've ever accumulated in any lifetime. So when you open the pathway of communication, you are able to experience moments of inner knowing on a fuller and more complete way. There we go. Now moving down into our third chakra in the solar plexus area, right below the rib cage, and really tap into any fear energy that's accumulated here. And fear has many different faces and flavors. And for some, it may be stress or anxiety. And others, it may be overwhelm or even panic at times. And then for some of you, it may be frustration and judgment and resentment energy that's coming up. Maybe it's just plain anger. Anger that hasn't had a voice. Anger that hasn't been experienced fully. Even righteous anger. Yeah, a lot of that. And just keep breathing the light into there. Making room for that to come in. And all this energy squeezes your self-esteem and your self-worth and your self-confidence. So we really want to have that energy out. We want to be full of who we are, empowered in our truth and in our being. And releasing any energy around not being enough or too much for some people. That is their judgment, their assumption, not our truth. And remember that you are worthy of love and healing and light. Even in those moments when you have trouble believing it. Now we're going to move down into the second chakra, right below the belly button. And we're going to begin to clear any toxic relationships that we've ever had. Any residue energy that is still floating around inside of us, connected to that. And understanding that relationships are with anybody or anything other than you. So it can even be your relationship with money, your relationship with alcohol or drugs, your relationship with your computer.
God.
Mhm.
God. God.
And of course, with people.
God. God.
And really, any toxic energy is energy that is out of balance, where the giving and the receiving is not equal. And it's time to bring that back into balance. That allows all the emotions to flow fully, to be free, to be expressed.
God. God.
All of your emotions, not just the ones that your family said were okay.
God. God.
Because our emotions are our radar. They allow us to know when another person has crossed over our personal boundary or crossed into our personal bubble. And when we experience that emotion, it flows through us and is meant to be felt, expressed, and acted upon, not held onto and stuffed into a corner.
God.
Like your lower back or those trigger points by the sciatic.
God. God.
There you go.
God.
And now connecting the energy through the hips and allowing that space to be wide open so that you are able to flow with manifestation, with creation, with the divine, so that you can work as a team with your spiritual team fully.
God. God.
And now connecting to your root chakra right below your tailbone and excavating any additional pain and trauma that you might have that is lodged in there, anything causing you to feel unsafe, insecure, unsteady, ungrounded.
God. Yeah.
And anything that makes you worry about your well-being, like your job, your finances, your home, your food, your health, anything that can cause your survival body to feel uncomfortable
God.
or fearful.
God. 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 God.
And allowing the energy to move down both of your legs equally so that we're clearing not only our physical self, but our spiritual layers as well.
God.
Opening and expanding the energy through your knees, giving you space for more flexibility, more adaptability to life and circumstances.
God. God.
And down through your calves and your shins,
God.
your ankles and your feet, so that you can walk fully in your life in every way that you wish.
God.
And then connecting to the energy below your feet, the way we connect and are part of the earth, and allowing Grandmother Earth to pull out all the energy that we've been releasing and to drop it into the soil to be composted and to turn into beautiful, new, healing, loving creation energy. And really allow what you're releasing to go as deep as you can imagine, all the way down into the very center of the earth, where it can burn up as it meets the molten lava center. And now we're going to invite in the divine feminine energy of creation that resides in the heart of Grandmother Earth, and bring that up through our body to fill and nourish all those places where we were willing to release anything that no longer served us today. So bringing it up to fill in your feet, feeling the deep connection to the earth and your purpose here, and calling it up through your ankles and your calves, and your knees, filling in your thighs and your hamstrings, up through your hips, filling your entire pelvic floor. Then allowing that energy to move up through your belly, cleansing and restoring all those beautiful organs that lovingly support you. And bringing it up through your third chakra, and begin to move into your rib cage and up your spine, so that the divine is supporting you and has your back in everything that you do and everything that you be. And filling your heart like a giant cup, the holy grail that resides within you. And as it fills, just imagine it stretching and expanding your capacity to love even more fully, beginning with yourself, and then enough to share with others. And as the cup overflows, it rolls down your shoulders and your arms and into your hands to share the healing with everything that you touch. And allowing the energy to move up through your throat and supporting your neck, easing all the energy that has been held there, bringing it up through your skull, calming the mind, and then gently cascading over you. Like a beautiful waterfall, cleansing, restoring, and repairing your aura in all of its layers. Any tears, any holes, even releasing any junk that might be in it. In the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual layers. And asking that you be surrounded with the harmony of infinite love and infinite light. as it stretches out through past lives and to your karmic debt.
God.
And now taking a moment to send healing energy back down to Grandmother Earth for all that she does to love, support, and nourish you.
God. 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 God.
And then also taking a breath to send healing out to those who have prayed for healing. Again, for the good of all and harm to none.
God. God. God.
And now having a moment of gratitude for your spiritual team for being here for you and with you as you've done this healing work.
God.
And gently begin to bring yourself back into this moment. You can stretch or yawn. You can rub your feet on the floor or rub your hands together. Whatever will help you bring yourself back into the present moment, back into this breath, back to our broadcast. All right. Welcome back. And thank you guys for all, typing in your requests. And I'm going to read them again in the order that they were asked. So that's how we do things here. And I apologize if I mispronounce anyone's name, because sometimes it's hard to do that. So, Barbie, we're starting with you. So your card, dear, is called Motion. And the Motion card is a reminder that all that we're doing and all that we're being is constantly in flux. It's constantly changing. And when we are standing still, the energy is still flowing. And so we need to be in sync with that. And that doesn't mean that we have to be doing. A lot of people think that it means we've got to be out there and we've got to be doing. And that's not what the card means. It means that it's time for you to start moving forward in your personal growth, in your spiritual path. That the divine is sort of giving you a little nudge, a little push behind your back and trying to help you move forward. And, we can't always tell when progress is happening, but all we have to do is take one step every day forward on our path or forward toward where we feel our mission is. And then we continue to have motion. We get stuck when we freeze and we don't take action. So just do one little thing every day, even if it's just you tap into the show or you listen to Neshi's card draw. You're doing one thing to connect with your team and connect with what's the next step for you. All right, so keep everything in motion, and that'll help with that kind of stuck sensation that can happen. All right, Andrew. How you doing, dear? All right. Your card is Core. So the Core card is really about coming back to the heart center, coming back into yourself. When we are worried about pleasing other people, we get pulled out of our essence. When we're in our core, our truth comes out of our heart. and nothing but the truth can be spoken. And you can tell when you're not in your core, when you get cranky and agitated with other people. But when you're in this hard space of, they say something that might bother you another day, you're just like, okay, they're having a rough day. You don't take it personally. So if you're taking something personally, you've moved out of your core. And I'll tell you, this is a challenge daily, hourly, minutely, sometimes. But you just do the best that you can to move yourself back into the vibration of your heart, because that's where your truth really is. And then you're not reacting, you're taking action on your life, and you're not being a victim of your circumstances. All right, my dear. All right, Julie, Shumway Hill. Good evening, my dear. This fits you beautifully. The Enchanted Forest is your card. I love the big, big moon, and I love all the heart energy in the forest. And the Enchanted Forest is about mystery and magic and excitement. And it's like you're stepping on a new journey. You're stepping into a new chapter. And, I feel it's going to feel funny. I see like Little Red Riding Hood, not in the bad version, but like she's got a picnic basket and she's ready to go on an adventure. And she's just skipping through the woods and ready to encounter whatever she encounters. There's no fear, and it's just her and one with nature. So remember to tap into that magical feeling. And it may be that, it's a hard time of year sometimes for us to connect with nature. We don't always want to go out and hug a tree when there's, snow and ice and whatever going on. But you can call to mind, one of the things that I do is you call to mind your favorite tree. And we all have a tree that we either climbed or we sat under, or it was in our parents' yard. My grandparents had a beautiful willow tree in the back corner, and it had a branch that was low enough to sit in. And so when I need to feel that nature connection, I connect to that beautiful tree and call it into me and the sensations. And that actually brings back the magic, because I used to think that's where Alice went down the rabbit hole. Was right there at the base of that tree, because there was so much magic there. So connect to that, sweetie, and a lot will happen for you. All right, Bobby. So your card is the Yin Yang card. And the Yin Yang card is basically, I don't know if you saw that it's in her throat and her forehead. So her 5th and 6th chakras. And so this is bringing balance into your energy system, bringing harmony in through communication. Most of the time, things that happen in relationships with other people comes from miscommunication. And that often happens when we make assumptions, when we take things personally, and when we don't say exactly what we mean. And so communication, harmony in communication is not only the speaking, but the listening. And you not only listen, but you have to hear. And when you hear, you can really understand the other person's point of view. So this is talking about you creating harmony by bringing that all into balance. Because when yours is in balance, then even if the other person or other people that you deal with aren't too great at communication, you're going to get the nuances, and they're actually going to hear you because you're in balance. It's this really cool trick. It works amazing. You wouldn't believe how many times we make an assumption that is not accurate, and it can really impact our relationships with others. All right, so our next card is Joanne, I believe. Yep. And your card, my dear, is magnetism. You see the beautiful birds being drawn together. Now, some people talk about the law of attraction. My team talks to me about becoming a magnet. So magnetism is when whatever you send out is what you get back, right? And so when you want to attract someone or something that you really want, then you have to be a reflection of that. You want to clean your magnet so that it comes right to you. I had a conversation with students this past weekend of, you don't have to go out and, seduce someone or something, right? Or to get your way. You just have to hold the energy of what you want, and it comes right to you. And when we do that, we're holding on to our magnetism, but we're honoring that we have that ability and capability, and you use it anyway. So why not do it with intention? And that's what this is about. Use some intention, and then you can be a magnet for whatever you want or whatever you need, sweetie. All right, Christine. So the dove of peace, right? So this is rising above. So when the doves show up in these cards, it's a divine message, sort of a carrier of the divine energy. And this is about giving yourself space to get some clarity. And it's a sense of when you release old thoughts, old beliefs, old patterns, you start to have freedom. And from that place, that's when the solutions come in. When we get caught in the past, So what they're saying is sometimes when we romanticize the past, we are not living fully in the present. So sometimes when, when somebody passes, right, we remember, the good, the bad, and the ugly sometimes, right? But we can almost wish our energy there. And when we do that, we're not in this moment. All of our energy has gone into the past. And it's good to touch on it and come back, but you don't want to get stuck in that energy, because when we get into the space of what if and I wonder when, and it pulls our energy, it drains our energy, and it feeds behind us so that we don't have enough strength to be ourselves in the moment. So it can be really exhausting in that sense. So this is about bringing in clarity, and when you bring in the clarity, it's going to give you freedom and a whole new way and a whole new solution to move into the next phase of your life and be in a place of joy, peace, joy, tranquility, but a sense of closure too. I'm feeling that. All right, Margaret. Of course. So Margaret, your card is time. So the time card, I don't know if you can see down below, I'll try to move it up. There's like a little baby, and there's like a goddess that's almost a tree along with the sun. So the time card comes to us to remind us that time is an illusion. When we turn all of our personal power over to time, it makes it hard for us to manifest anything. So it's like you spend all this time worrying, like, oh no, I've got to do this by this time, and oh no, I've got to do this by this time, and oh no, I've got to do this by this time. All of those oh no's took time away from you. But if you hold on to the energy that there's all the time in the world and that everything will happen as it's meant to, then you are using time in a more spiral type of way rather than linear time. Linear time gets us caught in a two-dimensional thinking. And we want to at least be three-dimensional thinking, right? So it can stretch and bend and move for you, because we all have moments where we're like, wow, that was fast. Or, gosh, that's dragging on so long, right? So don't see time as your enemy. See time as your companion and travel with it and not against it. All right, Minnie. Hello, hello. Your card is intuitive communication. Shocking that there's a heart on the tree for you to communicate with. Nature lady. So this is telling you to take moments to be silent and listen to what your heart is saying to you. You know, our brain can get really noisy and loud and make all these demands, but our heart silently asks for what it needs. So reach into your heart and allow it to speak. And I love, Sonia Choquette has this method where you place your hand on your heart and you just ask your heart what it wants and it will respond. But you want to put it on your high heart and the upper part of you. And if you just ask, hello, heart, you know, what do you have in store, or what would you need from me today? And it just communicates with you. So you have that inner knowing. Tap into it. Your heart's trying to talk to you. All right, Randy. All right, your card is a hidden gift. This card always reminds me of Archangel Michael, even though he's got a gentler face than that. But the hidden gift is sometimes, you know, we go through something that's difficult. It creates this energy of sadness. It creates this sense of ending. But if we focus on the ending, we don't see what's newly beginning. So the hidden gift is that in everything that seems bad, there's always something better because of it. And when we shift our focus from what's wrong to what's right, then we receive more and more gifts in our everyday life, right? Because we can all complain about all the things that are wrong, but how often do we sit and make lists of what we're grateful for? And when we do that, then we realize how many gifts we have given to us on a daily basis, even if it's just a smile of a stranger when you're walking through the grocery store. You know, they took time to make eye contact with you and to give you a gentle smile. It could shift your whole day, right? So look for those hidden gifts, and it will help sort of move the sense of ending and sadness into one of new beginnings and hope and possibilities. All right. All right, Anne. Oh, nice card. Alchemy. This is the Alchemy card. I love this card. because alchemy is all about transformation, and it's about, taking anything that has been negative in our lives and transforming it, transmuting it into something positive. Kind of like I was just chatting with Randy about. So it's when we're an alchemist, we can see things that need to be shifted, and we work on shifting them. And in particular, alchemy has to do with ourselves. So finding the things that don't work for us and eliminating that and bringing new energy in. What are you doing to change your life today? What are you doing to change your life tomorrow? And it really is all about, getting yourself closer and closer to your authentic self. And then your life and your being, you feel like gold. And so really call on that alchemical part of you, because you have a lot of magic inside that's ready to shift and change some things into really cool, positive energy. I'm excited for you. All right, Christina. Dear goodness, this describes you in spades, baby. Dependability. It's really hard. Dependability, some people think it's a bad thing, but it's like, who do you count on? Those people who are going to be there for you. And so this is reminding you that, you are there for other people. And other people can depend on you because you're dependable. But you can start to depend on other people too. It goes two ways. Remember, you're a magnet. So you being dependable and there for other people means there's room for other people to be dependable and there for you if you let them in. That's the key. So you want to open and expand the possibility that there are actually people out there who aren't going to let you down, because they're ready and willing to be there for you. You just need to make room for them. And it makes my heart kind of swell because there's some love energy there too. Woohoo! All right, Jackie. This card is perspective. I don't know if you can tell, but in her hand, she's got the earth. So she's looking down at the earth. And when we need to shift our perspective, we often have to realize that our problems are a lot smaller than we think they are. In the grand scheme of things, if you have clean clothes for tomorrow is not as important as whether, people in a particular country have enough food to eat, right? So this is about gaining some perspective. So I'm seeing this, my team shows me these like colored glasses. And so it's like, they're almost like funhouse glasses. So you're getting the funhouse version of what's in the mirror. It's not clear and it's a little distorted. So when we need perspective, we have to take our ego out of the equation, and we need to be in a space where we can think clearly. And to think clearly, we can't have our inner critic making noise at us. We can't have somebody else's opinions rolling through our head. We need to breathe into our heart space and really call on our spiritual team. And in the tarot card, this is the Hanged Man, where you hang upside down by your foot, so you're looking at it from another direction. And if you've got something you're stuck on, put it aside or take it apart and let somebody else look at it and get some other ideas, because the change in perspective will help you with any frustration you might be having. All right. Dennis. Nice to have you. So your card is stretch. And I love this card too. The stretch card is always an indication that you're ready for bigger and better things. It's time to stretch your abilities. It's time to stretch yourself out of your comfort zone. We get really comfortable. Even when we don't like the situation we're in, we get really comfortable because our ego likes to be where it knows its environment. So the best way to challenge that is to do one thing every day that's a little bit out of your comfort zone. And that can be easier said than done, but it's time to really stretch. You have a lot more capacity, and you're not using your gifts as fully as you can. And so it's time to step up. And, you know, when we hold ourselves back, there's somebody out there who needs us in that fuller place to help them out. So if we hold back, there's actually somebody who's missing out on our light and missing us from being there for them. So, you know, stretch. It's great. It's scary, but it's awesome. And it's never as bad as we think it is. All right, Robin. Ah, nice. So your card is the achievement card. I love the lotus. That's always about the chakras being fully open and ready to receive. And this one is about, you know, just stay focused on your dream, because we get sidetracked with, you know, Susie Q asks us to help them out with something and we take our eye off what we're doing or how we're doing it. When you choose to add things to your to-do list, make sure they're in alignment of you moving forward on your path, on your dream and heading toward it. Obviously, we have things like laundry and stuff, but if we could go naked, well, then we wouldn't have to worry about it. But it still keeps us focused on our dream because we want to be dressed when we get there, right? But do you have to do, you know, the fundraiser at school, or could you just donate? And it's like, I don't have to work it, but I'll supply whatever so that, you know, I can help out, but I'm not diverting my time and my attention from where I'm going and how I'm getting there. All right. Seems like big things are coming, sweetie. Just stay focused. All right, Deb. Another one with the dove. So this one is the message. And so when the message is here, this is letting you know that there's positive news coming. There's a positive outcome to what's been going around and around for a while. And let go and let God is what keeps coming in. When we try to control it or we try to make things happen, we actually get in the way of our spiritual team. So let go, because they're really taking care of it. And it's very positive. It's a wonderful thing. And things kind of, I feel like, whew, you can finally take a deep breath and relax and feel at ease. So let your team come in and help you out. Don't fight anymore, because that's what you're actually resisting, is your team's help. Okay? Woo! Let it go. All right. Natalie. Your card is the balance card. And the balance card comes in when our life is a little out of balance and things are a little out of focus. And when it's out of balance, it means that, you know, we're spending maybe too much time doing and not enough time being. We get really caught in our physical life and we're not as in tune and attached to our spiritual path. It also can be that our physical, our masculine energy and our feminine energy is out of balance. We all have both. But if we, if we have to be really tough and really strict and all of that for a long period of time, whether we're male or female, if we don't bring in that soft, nurturing, loving energy, we get really rigid and really uncomfortable. So this is about encouraging you to bring your life back into balance. It also can be a balance of, work and play, because our inner child gets cranky if they don't have time, and they can mess up the best laid plans if you don't give them a shot to have their little bit of creative time, okay? And if that's what's out of balance, that's an easy fix. Get out some crayons or toys or watch a Disney movie. You'll have a great time. All right, let's see who's next. Lynette. Your card, my dear, is clarity. So clarity is connected with the amethyst crystal. That's kind of what's near her belly at the moment. It's an amethyst crystal that's there. And the clarity is that you're getting messages from your spiritual team, but you're missing some of them or not getting them fully. So look for patterns. Look for songs getting stuck in your head. Look for animals crossing your path. I got to look up the bird banging on my window and what that means, because it's good for me and my cat, because she was in the same, mode. So I know that's a message. I'm not just saying, oh, a bird bumped into my window and tried to get in. It was flapping, trying to get in. So that's a message, and I need to look it up. And when I look it up, I'm going to be like, yep, that's what's going on. Or if you see a number repeated, and if you're not sure, you can set up a system with your spiritual team to give you a message. I actually have one of those like games on my phone that when I play it, whatever my score is, that's what the message is from my angels. I look that number up, and that's always where I am. Does that make sense? Woo. Yours has to do with opening your throat and speaking the messages that you get. All right, Mary Ellen. I think you're next. So your card is Goddess of Creation. I love her. The Goddess of Creation is all about that. Creating, transforming, and bringing things back into a place of wholeness. When we call the divine feminine energy in to assist us, like sometimes we're in the habit of just praying to God, right? Nothing wrong with that. But what if the goddess energy wants to come in and help you? So it's just like I was speaking about earlier, bringing things into balance, calling in the father and mother energy together to work together. We have a more whole way of transforming and creating things in our lives. And the divine feminine is really active for you, and she wants to help you, guide you, and move you. And that also means that we have to honor our feminine aspects and not treat them as less than, or, sometimes we don't feel fully our goddess. And every woman has a goddess energy within her. Maybe find a way to name that goddess part of you so that you can call on that to help you be fully in your transformation and your creation energy. I literally see things created. So I don't know if you do pottery or it's like, I feel like hand clay, it might even just be bread or cookies, but there's this tactile creation that wants to happen. So call that in, sweetie. It's ready for you. All right. Susanna, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. What a great card for your birthday. Evolution. I love the 3 suns, 3 layers of self. Me, myself, and I. All of them coming together. So what this talks about in the evolution is the earth is shifting. The earth is changing. It is raising its vibration. And because it's doing that, so are we. We are caught in that same cycle. And if we resist that transformation, it brings us nothing but sad, painful energy. So as the climate is changing and moving and shifting, that is transformation for the earth. And that's also happening within you. So be mindful that you're going through a phase of evolution right now. So if things feel like a little weird, not normal, that's because normal is shifting for you. And what a great thing to step into your new birth year with, like shifting, changing, and becoming a new version of you. You're getting an upgrade. How cool is that? We love that in our phones. We certainly love it in ourselves. So this sounds like a beautiful sign for some amazing energy coming your way. So have fun with that and really explore who you can be. All right. Amy, hello, dear. Your card is space. So the space card is, it reminds us that we are one with the universe, first and foremost, that we are as large as any star, any sun, any moon. And because of that, we often need more physical space at times. When we feel cramped or suffocated, it's because we don't have enough room. Energetically, our aura, our bubble, our spirit needs room to grow. We need space. And, sometimes we get that by, going somewhere, like on a vacation or a retreat so that we can be one with ourselves. And sometimes it's just creating a new sacred space that's just yours. Maybe carve out a niche in one of the rooms that's got a favorite chair of yours and make a mini altar, or have your favorite books there and have it become your space. Because there's a sense that, you have all this being, and your environment at the moment, what's surrounding you, your climate doesn't match you. So you need a little breathing room at the moment. And so do that the way you do best. I mean, I love to go out in nature when the weather will allow that. But I also can snuggle up with a cup of tea and shut my door and tell people not to bother me. And put on some music, so you do you, but give yourself a little more space, sweetie, to kind of calm everything down for you. All right, Kimberly, I hear you're from Scotland. How exciting. I found out through my DNA testing I'm 42% Irish. So, I figure I'm very close to you in that way. So your card, sweetheart, is potential. And I love this card because this is saying, underneath everything, see the child kind of like peeking out beneath her dress? There's so much waiting to be birthed in you. It is ready to be like tapped into. it's time to stretch and become a little more you. And there's so much out there that is like, I just keep seeing like all these possibilities that are all around you, and there isn't even like a wrong one. So if you're trying to figure out which one to choose, like it doesn't really matter. All of them are here to guide you to a fuller version of you. And there's just so much opportunity just knocking on your door. So don't be afraid to answer. Don't be afraid to go through change. Take a deep breath, listen to your heart, and just go for it. Because it's like there's so many ways that it's like you have like 15 doors, and every one of them is going to make your life better. So just choose and let the great stuff come in. All right. Judith, of course you can have a reading, my dear. Your card is consistency. And the consistency card is all about rhythm. When we are able to hold on to a rhythm in our life, then the universe has a chance to figure out our patterns and figure out how we work best, how we function. And so, like my spiritual team has been giving me new things to do at night, before I go to bed, so that my energy is nice and calm, so I'm sleeping better. And then there's stuff that it has me doing right when I wake up. Like I'm playing kirtan music and stretching, doing yoga stretching to it, because I'm singing and moving and stretching all at the same time. And when I do that, like my channel is so much more open, because I don't have all the junk of things from the day before clogged in my thoughts, because I dump everything from the day before I go to bed. I write it all down, all my concerns, what was up, and I put it on paper. And so I have that rhythm, and I have a rhythm of, how I eat breakfast and take my vitamins. And when we're consistent, then the divine knows how to send us our messages. And then they get to know where and when you want their help. So find a rhythm for yourself, and it should feel natural. It should feel as easy as breathing. And when you step into that, it's just maintaining it, creating a habit out of it. And because then you can do it on automatic pilot and you don't have to think about it anymore. And that's really when we get into connection, is when we move through our life and we can be listening and experiencing our connection, because we're not worried about the doing. All right. Carol, your card, my dear, is preservation. So the preservation card is, it looks a little scary because there's a skeleton and there's, but really what this is about is, you protecting and you preserving your inner child. Because what is trying to be birthed inside of you deserves protection. And so you're preserving your sense of self. And sometimes people aren't comfortable with that. Sometimes people want us to be who they want us to be. And when that happens, it's time for us to put up a barrier and say, no, you need to step back. This is who I am now. And if you're not comfortable with it, that's on you, not on me, right? So this is telling you, if you have that feeling of needing to protect yourself, listen to it. Because that is you holding on to your truth and not absorbing somebody else's version of you. Because that can happen really easily when we're sweet and we say yes to people and we kind of, you get what I'm talking about. we people please. So this is about you preserving who you are and not allowing them to kind of shift who that is for them. All right, let's see. Mitchell. Your card is discernment. And the discernment card is really great because that's when we are in a really good place to understand what yours is yours and what mine is mine. Discernment is when we feel our own feelings, we experience our own experience, and we don't allow other people's moods or behaviors to shift who we are. And so this is inviting you to, there's a couple instances right now where you're sort of like really intertwined. And so it's hard for you to know what's yours and what's not. And so the best way to do that is to ask your team, is this mine? You know, are these feelings mine? Is this anxiety mine? Or did you unknowingly absorb it from some other person? It happens when we're very empathic. So it's really important for us to know what's ours and what's not, because if it's not yours and you honor that, it drops right off of you and you no longer have to feel it or experience it. And this is a healthy way for you to go forward in relationships. It's not healthy for us to take on other people's emotions and try to make them happy or to please them above what we need. Okay? All right. Marilyn. Your card, my dear, is Moonlight. So the moonlight card, I love the moonlight because it's shining its light down into the darkness. It's down onto the water, but it is a beacon in the dark, right? So the moonlight is about, you know, what can you shine your light on? What potential is hiding underneath the waters? And sometimes it's like, what potential can you experience that you haven't before? Maybe it's time for you to travel. Maybe it's time for you to explore some romance. But this is about this untapped potential that's hiding. And the moon is the feminine goddess who's shining her light gently on it. It's not the stark reality, it's of the sun. It's like just gently putting a suggestion in there of, you know, you could possibly do that, and allow yourself the fun of exploring. This is about new experience and new awareness, and we can't have that if we're not willing to put ourselves out there a little bit. So look what's hiding underneath the covers, and let it come out, because it's a beautiful thing, and it really wants to be shared with others. All right, Cindy Lynn. Your card, my dear, is Apprehension. You know, and she's laying in the mud, right? Because, you know, she feels a little bit pulled down, but notice that there's things growing, beautiful stuff growing above her, you know. And so when we have apprehension, it's when we have moments of doubt. We doubt ourselves, we doubt our abilities, and we go a little bit into fear, like, what was I thinking? I can't really do that. How am I going to manage? And it's partly because you're trying to kind of step out into the world. You're trying to put yourself out there more, and that makes our ego freak out because it feels vulnerable. Like, you can't put us in this new situation. What are we going to do? People are going to see us. Well, yeah. So breathe into that apprehension. You're meant to be seen. You're meant to be heard. You're not supposed to be hiding in the shadows. And notice that whenever you experience doubt, you're blocking your connection to the divine. And whenever you experience anxiety or fear, it's putting you back in your survival body. So move into your heart, trust, allow, and just be open to what the world wants to bring you. And just step out there and, you know, it's time. You've been hiding. It's time for you to step out and do your thing, girl. Use your gifts, because, you know, they're ready for like to smack you upside the head. So that's never a good thing. Step out and do it. Those 2x4s are not fun by the universe if you wait. All right, Jacqueline, I think you're next. So the card for you is the Search. And the Search card is great because the Search is, we go through these times when we're feeling lost and we're confused and we are lonely, like really lonely. But it's all because we're looking for fulfillment outside of ourselves. This is reminding you that you're full and you're whole and you're complete inside of you. What you're looking for is inside of you. And that's always a tough thing because we think that the things are bigger, better, and brighter out there. You know, like the grass is always greener on the other side. But the truth is what you're looking for is inside of you. And we can't feel lonely when we remember that we're connected to the divine and our spiritual team. We're surrounded at all times, you know? And so even when we're alone, we're still surrounded because we're complete. Does that make sense? So what you're looking for is in you, sweetie. And just go within and it will light up for you. All right, Deborah. Your card is Moderation. Yeah, that could be a tough one. You know, all things in moderation, right? Our food, our drink, our wine, whatever. But it's also when we, you know, are doing things like when you first go back to exercising, if you haven't done it in a while, you know, don't do what you did 20 years ago and expect to like be able to walk the next day, right? So it's telling you to give yourself a freaking break, and do things at your own pace. Stop comparing yourself to other people and do it at the pace that feels right for you. Eat the portions that feel right for you. Say no when you don't want something. Don't do things to people please other people. And then you'll have room for new things to come in. Because when we fill ourselves with things that we don't need or don't want, then we don't have space for ourselves. So when we do all those things in moderation, then we have more room. And that's what they're saying is like you're stuffed full. So make some space, and you can do that by sort of bringing things into balance, bringing in your routine and your daily life into balance. And, you know, this is not about beating yourself up for overdoing it. It's about cutting yourself a break, that you are creating expectations that weren't attainable. Okay? So cut it out. All right. Gina Lane. Your card is Ready but Waiting. So you're probably going through this phase where it feels like nothing's moving. You're stuck. Don't be sad about that. Everything is coming together in divine timing. You have everything you need to accomplish what you're going to accomplish, and you're ready for the next step. They're actually giving you a little room to breathe and rest and recuperate so that you have enough energy to do the next big thing. If we just go, 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 we burn ourselves out. So take this moment of time for breathing space because you need it to be able to take the action. So they know you're ready and that you're waiting, but this is also a lesson in patience. It's going to come exactly when it's supposed to. We can't make it happen any faster, so stop trying. Okay, sweetie? All right. So Lalita, nice. Love your profile picture. That's beautiful. So your card is renewal. So the renewal card comes to you today because there is this rebirth energy. You know, it's like you were, 2018 Lolita, and now you're going to be a new 2019 version. And that's a refreshing reboot. And this is an influx of more energy. You know, you maybe haven't been feeling well, or you've been feeling depleted or run down or bored. All of those things kind of carry that heavy energy, and you're getting in this wave. It's almost a tsunami of like new energy for new creation. And so it gives you new life and new purpose and a new sense of joy, a new sense of peace. So allow that energy to really spark and come to life for you, because it's opening some really amazing possibilities. All right. Let's see. I think Rowena is next. Thank you for sharing. It's really thoughtful. So your card is listen. Yep. Listen, listen, listen. So the listen card comes in when we are only hearing what we want to hear. And so that comes in because your spiritual team is like trying to talk to you, trying to give you the messages, but maybe you don't want to hear the answer, which can be difficult. But it's all coming in. And when we listen and we actually hear, then we can shift and make changes, and we can actually take action. So this is reminding you that communication is important, whether it's with other people or even your spiritual team, and it goes both ways. You not only have the ability to talk, but you need to open and stop and listen so that you can hear everything. Otherwise, your team stops sending you as many messages when you aren't paying attention. And that could be really helpful for you to get more guidance when you need it. All right. Laura, I believe, is next. So your card is productivity. So the productivity card comes in because this is a really fruitful time for you. There's a lot going on and you have the energy to make it happen. So you may have this big to-do list to do, but your team is there to give you the energy, the resources, the guidance, everything that you need to get all this stuff done. So this is like chug, 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 chug. And it wants you to really use this extra energy to accomplish what you want to. You know, sometimes we go through a really productive period because we've got to get that stuff off of our plate so that we can make room for the new wonderful thing that's trying to come in. So this is showing you a lot of energy and a lot of ability for you to get stuff done. So go for it and have fun with that. Karen, okay. My brain was like, Karen, yeah, okay. So Karen, of course. Your card is the flame tree. I love this because the trees are there supporting the flame under the moon. And the flame tree comes in because it's letting you know something is coming, something new is sort of burning its way up, and it's grounded and it's supported and it's ready to take fire. And so when the flame tree comes in, there's usually a lot of passion and desire behind it. So, you know, you feel a lot of motivation, and all of that is coming in as part of that. So, you know, if you've got a project you were thinking about starting, jump on it with both feet, because there's so much fire energy ready to take root for this starting of something new. So anything that's been sort of percolating, go for it and take action because it's ready to go. All right. Tina. Okay. Sorry. I'm like looking in two different places. So Tina, yours is the hidden path. So the hidden path is saying to you that there is the spirit and the physical are coming together to create a new path for you. So you may not see it. You may not understand that the path is there. It's like we get to the edge of a field and all we see is grass. And yet, as soon as we step forward intuitively where we're supposed to, there's this hidden pathway that we hadn't seen before. And it's spirit bringing it into the physical realm. It's bringing this new opportunity. And often this is because we are carving a brand new way. And that, you know, maybe it hasn't been done that way before. And so this is telling you that this new pathway is being created for you, and that, you know, be on the energetic lookout for new opportunities for growth, because that is bringing together, and it should really feel like the bringing together of your spiritual and physical sides. Like you'll get to use both together in tandem. All right, that sounds like fun. All right, Kelly, your card is efficiency. So the efficiency card comes in when you're probably like me sometimes, where you get easily distracted. And so the card is telling you and reminding you, your team is reminding you, like, to be mindful of your commitments and your time. And, you know, do things efficiently. Delegate stuff to other people. If somebody else can go pick up the dry cleaning, let them do it. That's being efficient. It's when you can multitask. It doesn't mean running around doing everything by yourself. It's about setting up systems to do it easily and quickly. And the more you can create that, the more room you will have for creation energy to come through. Because right now it feels like things are very scattered in every different direction, kind of chaotic. And that makes it really hard for you to be calm and peaceful inside. So it's about sort of doing organization and things like that that can really bring you back to a space where you can do things quickly. You know, if you have a set of pegs by the door to hang your keys on, and you do it every day, well, then you're not searching for your keys all over the house and wasting 5 minutes every day. It's that kind of thing, that you can gain back some composure and calm that sense of chaos by just getting a little more organized and asking for help when you need it. All right. Melanie, your card is shift. So the shift card is that you are, you know, maybe standing in a little resistance. which we all do. We're like, oh no, you can't make me do that. It's something new. I don't know what's going to happen. And they're saying, cut it out. It's just time to shift. You are ready to move forward. You're ready for, a fuller version of yourself. And the only way that can happen is if you're willing to shift. So you need to shift your perspective. You need to shift your sense of who you are. And you need to shift, how you do things in a way. How often do you let other people help you? How often do you call on your spiritual team to pave the way for you so that it can be easier and more graceful? And so as you start to shift and come into your center, into alignment, things will start to happen really rapidly and really easily. Right now, all that tugging, resisting energy, that's happening, that's because you're a little bit off your center. And it's because your center shifted in the past couple months. So you just have to realign yourself and everything will flow smoothly. All right. Monty. Your card is Eternal Dance. I love this card. I love this card. I always feel like the belly dancer. So the Eternal Dance is movement. This is the cycles of completion coming around. This is you dancing your way through your life. And that means going with the flow and adapting and being flexible and allowing room for change without holding on in resistance. Because when we dance our way through life, that allows the joy to be in every movement. When we're like, we got to do it this way, and this is the only way, that's not going to work well for you. So it's basically saying, allow yourself to go with the movement, flow with the stream, rather than being a rock. Because this is how the cycle of completion wants to be done. And it's teaching you how to enter the path of least resistance. And the crazy thing is we are the resistance. So when we get out of our own way, everything is just going to flow and dance beautifully for you. All right. Trisha, I believe. Yes. Thank you for sharing, sweetie. So your card is attachment. And the attachment card is when we're holding on to something. We're afraid of letting it go completely, and there's some fear attached to it. And when we're in an attachment, it's not healthy. It means that you've been in a place where you're in this connection and you're not in your authentic self in the connection, but you're scared to let that connection go, and you're scared to actually become yourself. And if you become yourself, the attachment will dissolve because it can't hold on to you when you're in your true vibration. And this is kind of a needy, clingy energy that I'm feeling, like, oh no, don't go. And it's like, that is so not the right energy for you in the first place. Like, let it go like a hot potato, because that is like not even close to who you are. So don't let fear restrict your ability to make decisions, and really allow yourself that space to know that do what's healthy for you. And if you feel anxious, nervous, uneasy, it's not right. That's your vibes. That's the vibration of like, this isn't quite the thing for me. And listen to that, because you've been getting those signals, that tightness in your stomach. That's because you just know deep down it's not good for who you are. All right. So let whatever it is go because it's not healthy. And you will step into this beautiful new place. And like, I see you being able to like breathe again, because it almost feels like you're having trouble breathing because it's so tight in there. All right. And Carrie, your card is Remembrance. And the Remembrance card comes, you know, when we're sort of surfacing out of the depths, the emotional depths. So we sometimes get caught in our past feelings and emotions, especially if we didn't get a chance to go through and feel them all fully. There are stages of grief, for instance, where we have to have the sadness and the anger and the resentment, the denial, and then we come into acceptance. And if we don't kind of go through all those phases, then the grief gets put in our body for us to feel again later. And so you've been doing a lot of this emotional kind of like resurfacing old memories and resurfacing old thoughts, and allow yourself to feel the emotions that didn't get expressed. If you're angry, you know, take a pillow and whack your bed with it and scream it out if you need to, but don't hold it in any longer. It starts to eat away at you. And if you've got sadness, you need to cry out, and you know, you don't know how to get it out, well, find some sad music or something and just sit there and let yourself go, or watch some really sad movie and just let the tears flow. You know, I'm somebody who'll put the Hallmark Channel on and just, you know, because there's always this like really sad thing, but it always has a happy ending, and I get my crying out, and I have my little pile of Kleenex, and I've had my cry. So just let yourself go through that, because we need to honor our emotions. They're here for a reason, but we don't need to hold on to them forever. They're not meant to stay in us. All right. So the last card for Neshi. You know, she produces my show. She gets a car. You know, love her cards all the time. She got the Harmony card. Woohoo! And the Harmony card is all about power and self-confidence and productivity all together. And really what I'm feeling is you're starting to come into yourself. You're starting to come into balance, because you actually have started to assemble a team that you can delegate things to. And when we can delegate to others, then we have more space to do what we love to do. And that's restoring a sense of harmony. You know, you've had a period where you had to do it all, and that has come to an end. So now you actually can accomplish more and move more forward more quickly, because there's other people to help you. So rely on your team, because they're here in physical and spiritual form. And with that, have some fun with that. Woohoo! So thank you guys for tuning in. This is, you know, the end of the evening. So I'm so happy and thankful that you're here. I will not be here next week, because I am going to go play in Florida with my hubby, because we need our inner childs, you know, our inner children need some time to have fun. So this is, you know, how we're going to do things in 2 weeks, and I'll be back. And, you know, just really take time to shine your light, because we have been in the darkness for too long. And I will see you guys next time. Mwah. Bye.